All right, our good friends over at KRK just sent me over their newest 8-inch studio monitors. There's already been a few videos out on them already, and they decided to send me a pair, which I'm very happy about that. And these are the Rokit 8 5th generation speakers. Now, I'm gonna be totally honest with you guys. With everything that you get with these speakers, for the price that they're charging for them, these things are very impressive.
Bolo!
Now, if you guys are trying to get these speakers, they are on sale right now until February 19th. And you can get them by using my link in the description and heading over to Zounds.com. Zounds has these speakers on the site and a whole bunch of other stuff on the site that you guys can get right now with no credit or no background check. Meaning you can order it, they'll ship it to you, and then you can just make monthly installments, and then you can just pay it off like that. Now, it's not everything on the site, but it is a whole bunch of stuff on the site, just like these speakers that you can get right now by clicking my link in the description and heading over to Zounds.com. So go ahead and try to get you some gear today. Now, I've been an owner of KRK speakers since 2005. I actually bought their first Rokit 5 speakers, and I had those speakers all the way until 2018. I actually sold them to a younger artist. She needed some speakers for her home studio, and I went ahead and let them go. But those speakers lasted all the way from 2005 to 2018 with no problems. And just think, that was like the first generation Rokit speakers. So yeah, you can trust these KRK speakers. They're gonna hold up over time. Now, this is my third pair of the KRK Rokit speakers. I had the 3-way, the 10-inch speakers as well, which those things sound really good. And now I got these, which for the price, these things are incredible. Now, let me get one thing out the way before we go any further. Now, I know that KRK speakers are synonymous with low end, very beefy low end on their speakers, kind of like a hi-fi low end on their speakers. And I can tell you guys right now, with these new Generation 5 speakers, they don't have that. They are very balanced and they sound very good. And they made a lot of improvements on this new generation of the KRK Rokit speakers. Now, even though KRK did send these speakers over to me, they didn't force me to say anything about these speakers, and they didn't even tell me when I had to make a video for them. But, you know, I've been using them for a while. I got to test them out, and I feel that they're worthy for me to make a video on them. So I'm not going to take up much of your time. I'm just going to get to the things that matter about these speakers. Now, first of all, let's talk about the look of these speakers. They come with the classic yellow woofer cone in here. We've all grown to know that classic yellow look, and the woofer is made of the classic Kevlar fiber that we've grown to love in these KRK speakers. And these speakers come with a 1-inch silk dome tweeter that gives you an improved high-end response, and it gives you a better phase response in the high end as well. And we have a sleeker, more modern cabinet that is made to reduce unwanted vibrations. And it has an upgraded bass port in the front that gives you a better low end bass response. Around the back, we have a balanced XLR and TRS input, a new digital DSP control screen, and a volume knob that lets you control the EQ settings as well. Now, one of the biggest upgrades to these new Generation 5 speakers is the built-in DSP-driven graphic equalizer. Now, with this, the onboard DSP has 3 distinct voicing modes. Now, the first one is the mix mode that has a flat frequency and phase response. This is better for like mixing and mastering. Now, the other one is the create mode. Now, with this mode, you're gonna have that classic KRK bass, and you're gonna have more defined highs in here, but it's not gonna be a flat response. This mode is for when you like wanna make beats and when you just wanna really jam out. Now, the last mode is the focus mode. This is really all about the mid-range. You can dial into the mid-range and really get that sounding really good with this focus mode. With these 3 different modes, it's almost like having 3 separate speakers. So all you have to do is like change the modes and you'll basically have 3 speakers in one. Now, of course, with most speakers, they come with EQ settings, and inside of these speakers, they have 25 different EQ settings that you can set to make these speakers sound pretty much however you want them to sound. But I do want to stress this: before you get any type of speakers or whatever, you still have to make sure that your room is treated properly. I don't care what speakers you get. If your room is not treated properly, you're gonna have some problems. So make sure you get your room treated properly. Like, you gotta do that. And they actually threw in a little extras as well. They actually gave us 2 faceplates. They have a open faceplate and they have a faceplate with a grill on it, just so you can protect the speakers a little bit more. Some people say that they can hear a difference with the grill on or off. I didn't really hear no difference. It sounds the same with the grill on or off. So if you want to protect the speakers a little bit more, you can put the grill on. If you don't, you can take the grill off. The grill's attached magnetically. All you gotta do is just snatch them on and off, and you're good. And I was quite surprised that KRK actually gave us some speaker wedges for the speakers to sit on. Oh, and I forgot, they actually have some mounts on the bottom of the speakers that you guys can use with the optional KRK mounting brackets if you choose to use, the brackets like that. Now, they have other settings in here to where you can go ahead and dim the lights on the front and on the back of the speakers, which that's pretty cool. And they throw in an app that you can use with these speakers that has a real-time room analyzer, and it has an EQ recommendation tool so you can set your speakers up in your room for more accurate mixes. Now, come on now. That's a lot of stuff you're getting for the price. Now, I do want to say this. These speakers are not for everybody. You at least need to have these speakers in a decent sized room so you can hear the bass accurately. If you have a smaller room, I would say personally to go ahead and go with maybe like the 5-inch speakers. With the smaller speakers, you will be able to hear things much better in a smaller room. You get speakers too big for the room, they're gonna be nice and loud, but it's not gonna be as accurate as you want. And I don't care what speakers you get. Like, you don't wanna get nothing too big. Pause. Now, the one thing that I do not like about these speakers is changing of the modes and EQing the speakers. Every time you want to change these modes, or if you want to EQ on these speakers, you have to manually go behind the speakers and change them yourself. Now, if your speakers are in a spot where you can't get behind them, it's going to be a little issue changing the different modes. I feel that you should be able to change the modes with the app that comes on your cell phone. To be honest, I think that would have made things much easier. It just seems like it would have made more sense if you'd have just, added that in the app. So, that's just me. Now, another thing is they're not the loudest speakers in the world. So if you're trying to really rock out like that, these things are not the loudest speakers. Now, they're not quiet by any means at all. You know what I'm saying? They're not quiet at all. But just don't look at these like PA speakers. You really got to treat these like studio monitors, all right? So you can't just rock out like that on them, but they will give you a good overall volume. They're just not going to be like a typical 8-inch PA speaker where you're just cranking that thing out. But overall, I really do like these speakers. I've been using them for a while. I've done some mixes on them, and they actually sound very good. Now, when reviewing these speakers, I know a lot of times you guys want to hear the speakers, and that's just almost impossible. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to record the speakers while they're being played through my iPhone, and that way you guys will be able to hear how the speakers sound using the iPhone's microphone. So let's go ahead and check that out.
Bolo, Bolo.
All right, so there it is, the Rokit 8 5th generation speakers. As you guys can see, these speakers actually sound very good. They come with a lot of stuff, and for the price that you pay for these, These things are actually very impressive. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys learned something from it. And like I always say, peace out.